All right. So again, thank you everybody for joining us here today on our 30 minutes of excellence session for the month of April. So for you who didn't know, we do this the fourth Wednesday of every month, and we have different presenters come on, join us here at NADA to just discuss different workforce topics, different promising practices or best practices, and different resources that you as professional developers can use to serve your customers. So we're always excited to do this 30 minutes of excellence every month. Today, I have the special pleasure of introducing our presenter for the month of April. Our presenter is Colonel Retired Adam Rocke. And Adam is the Senior Director of External Engagements for Hiring Our Heroes. So help me welcome Adam. And Adam, I will let you take it over from here.
Thank you so much, Kim. Kim, can you still hear me?
I can. You're
Great.
good.
Well, thank you all very much. I know you're at different locations, dispersed all over the country, and busy at work right now. And I appreciate that you took 30 minutes to listen to our program. A special shout out to Kim, though, for arranging this. I do appreciate the opportunity to do this. And for, somebody who was from Kennesaw, when I was a young captain, I climbed Kennesaw Mountain to the top. That was a lot of fun. And you got people from all over places I've been. I'm very fortunate to have served in uniform for over 30 years. As Kim mentioned, I retired as a colonel, and it's my passion in my life right now to try and find meaningful employment for our service members that are still in, that are getting ready to transition, our veterans, our military spouses, and our caregivers. I'm an infantryman by trade. I served all over the globe, and you're probably saying, well, how did he get into this type of business and workforce development? Well, it's a passion. Obviously, when I left the military, I was doing outreach for the chief of staff, and I met a lot of you along the way. And this is what led me to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and Hiring Our Heroes Foundation. So let me just set the landscape though here. And I do this on purpose before I get into my program, because I want people to truly understand what we are seeing in our veteran landscape. And first of all, I'll go back and say, for those of you who are interested in hiring servicemen and women, military spouses, obviously I think they're the best of breed, and you've come to the right place. And we're a program that can help you gain access to that. But what you do for NADA and workforce development is right up my alley, and it's so important, the skilled labor market out there. And the more that we promote collectively those types of opportunities that you all have, all 4,300 of you, I guess, that are members of the NADA and so on and so forth, the better we will be. And I've got some programs I'm going to describe for you too in a minute. But military to civilian transition, first of all, it is hard. I sat in their shoes before. It is a process. But for all of you, there will be over 200,000 young men and women who transition out of all of our military services every year for the next 10 years. It doesn't matter if we're downsizing or not. That's just evolution. The young servicemen and women serve their time, whether it be 3 or 6 years or even 30 years, and they transition out. So 200,000. That's a large number, and that's a large pool for you to try and capture. The veteran employment, the landscape it's the best it's been in a very long time, to be honest with you. The veteran unemployment is an all-time low. As you know, there is a war on talent, and people are looking to the young servicemen and women to fill the void that they have, because they deserve it and they have this skill set. Well, the veteran unemployment is about 2.4%, which is remarkable right now. I think the national average is about 3.6. So we are trending below the national average, which is a good thing. Doesn't mean we stop. We got to keep our foot on the gas pedal, and we got to continue to drive that unemployment down. But what still remains very high is a very talented population that you should consider tapping into is the military spouses. The military spouse unemployment rate is about 24% right now. I know military spouses have some gas and some service in their careers when you look at their resume, but I'd ask all of you all to take a deeper look beyond that. We'll talk about some programs, but look at the skills that they have, look at their volunteerism. I mean, they're just so well educated, and so they're a hidden gem, if you will, and you should consider them for your workforce. The DoD Skill Bridge, that's a game changer. Real briefly, we have some programs. I'll talk about that. The DoD Skill Bridge is a policy that allows the servicemen and women that are transitioning out during their last 180 days of service to do some sort of upskilling opportunity like many of you have. You could do an apprenticeship or pre-apprenticeship. You could do on-the-job training, shadowing, or even an internship. And we call it a fellowship at the Chamber of Commerce, and I'll talk you through that. But that is a great way to segue from your time in service immediately with a skill into a meaningful career. The health and well-being of our force, everything that we do, putting them to work immediately helps for the health and well-being of the individuals that serves. If they have a successful transition into a job with pay and benefits that are commensurate with what they had, the health and well-being seem to fall in line much better. All right, all the other illities seem to be reduced when we find them meaningful employment. And then the last thing I'll talk about is our national security. And honestly, it's retention of the all-volunteer force, which we're on our 50th year right now, as you can see from all the services here. But if we treat our young men and women who serve with dignity and respect and process them out of the military into a job, meaningful career, I should say, into a career, they're more apt to tell the young men and women in their community, wherever they find them, at the local American Legion, the VFW, in the grocery store, about their time in service. And they're more apt to tell them about how they were successful when they transitioned out. And hopefully that will generate retention of our all-volunteer force and ultimately helps national security. So let me go and tell you a little bit about the Chamber of Commerce and Hiring Our Heroes. The Chamber of Commerce is the world's largest business federation. Hiring Our Heroes is a foundation that's under the foundation portion, which one of the 5 or 6 programs that we have. We're a 501c3. We've been doing this for over a decade, especially when in 2011, when the unemployment rate was a staggering high at 36% for our veterans and military spouses. This program came to life, and we've been around for, as I stated, 11 or 12 years now, and we're continuing to grow. Some of the programs that we have, though, I'll touch base on them. Maybe some of them are of interest to you. What we have is we have MOUs with the installations around the globe. I've been fortunate, and last week I was in Germany, where I was at Vilseck, and then I was at Ramstein Air Force Base, where we had 2 very successful hiring fairs, where we saw over 450 job-seeking candidates, and many of them had the opportunity to present themselves and even get connected with potential opportunities. So we do career summits wherever. We did, as you can see, last year we did 31, we have 48 this year. Those are on bases where we start in the morning with educational content that I help deliver. Then in the afternoon, we have the typical hiring fair that many of you are familiar with. And if you're interested, at the end of this, I'm going to give you my email, and you may contact me and we can figure out a way to get involved. We also do virtual hiring events. As you all know, COVID put a screeching halt on a lot of things, and we no longer had the access to the servicemen and women on the installations. So we had to be innovative, and we created a way, and we did it through virtual hiring events. Well, we continue to sustain that. So if you're interested in participating, we do it by industry. Our website at hiringourheroes.org has those resources. It has the schedule for the virtual hiring events and how you can register for them. But one of the things that we do up front, as you see in the far right of your screen, is our career connectors. Our career connectors, in my mind, they're our game changer. They are the folks. There's about 15 military spouses that we have that curate our talent. I like to say they're the greeter at the Walmart, if you will. When you want to do anything with Hiring Our Heroes, we ask that you go to our website and you fill out a short profile that tells us a little bit about yourself, and it allows our career connectors to reach out to you and give you some assistance, some immediate hands-on assistance, whether it be help with your resume, help with an industry, searching, helping you find a workforce development program that has the credential, the certification, the license that you're interested, that'll help you land that amazing career. So we're really proud of our career connectors. But no matter what you do with us, you enter through the career connector. Our fellowship program, that is our skill bridge program. And in the Army, we call it the career skills program. For many, that's basically the internship. This falls right in line with what I said was the skill bridge policy, allowing the young servicemen and women during their last 6 months of service to attend some sort of upskilling opportunity. Well, this is our program. It's called the Corporate Fellowship Program. Tremendous success. We had over 2,800 fellows last year. 450 companies participated. It's a 12-week. It basically is a 12-week interview. Okay, 4 days of the week you're with the host company. The Friday is a leadership huddle with us, where we teach you all kinds of things like how to prepare yourself for the interview, how to dress, how to make your LinkedIn account, how to build your resume, so on and so forth. So it's very useful. You could see there the hiring rate has been a staggering 85 to nearly 90% already, and you can see the mean salary average is $108,000. That's obviously a composite of all last year's fellows, but that is remarkable. What a great start for our young men and women. Is a degree required? No, a degree is not required. And although many of the companies across America require that degree, but what we try to advocate for is degree or experience or preferred experience. And we seem to be getting nice ties that way. And then we've got the military spouse program. That's the same as our fellowship program. It's a 12-week program for military spouses. Although our military spouses need to get paid, so we have a third party donor that has offered to pay them. So on the active duty side, their active duty, they cannot receive any pay. So for you all, this is free opportunity to interview them for a 12-week period, and hopefully you'll hire them. In the middle, we've got some industry-based internships, and I'll talk about those in just a second. But for some of you talking about demographics here, take a look at, I said 2,800, or it's 2,806. You can see those with a bachelor's degree. You can see who are active duty. You can see who are enlisted. So a lot of folks think that programs like this are specifically for the officers. That's not the case. As you can see, the majorities of them are listed. And then we have some that are military spouses. So this is about diversifying your workforce. And then I mentioned some of those special programs we have. We have an opportunity through a partnership with Google to allow our service members and their spouses to get free credentials. And you can see right there in data analytics and IT through Google with a program that we call Career Forward, and a tremendous amount of success with that. We've had thousands of credentials we've awarded already. You can see the Solar Ready Vets is another program that we have. And then you can see in the middle, the data management careers through Salesforce, which is another one that the servicemen and women can take while they're active duty, and it's free for our spouses. And then so far we've had 100% job offer and placement there, and the mean salary is about $87,000. So what a tremendous program. Then I'll just quickly tell you about some digital tools and some that might be of interest to you. For our young servicemen and women who do not have a resume, and we're still working on writing those resumes, we've built a resume engine. It's on our website at hiringourheroes.org, and it takes into consideration all those skills and those intangible skills that you had in the military, and it puts it in a resume. And I like to say it's about 80 to 90%. It probably could use a little bit more expertise from somebody, but it's a great start for those young men and women who do not have a resume. And the Career Spark is particular to our military spouses. It's a military spouse resume that takes into consideration volunteerism, gaps in their career, so on and so forth. The Veteran Roadmap, you can see, is a roadmap for our transitioning service members. So we use that as a resource for somebody who might be transitioning out. You can also see that similar roadmap for our military spouses. And then we have multiple digital resources online right now at our website it's open to all of y'all. It could be classes on the interview. It could be the LinkedIn preparation. It could be a host of industry panels that we've conducted, so on and so forth. It's just a repository of educational content for those transitioning out. There we go. And then I touched a little bit about our military spouse program. That really is very important, as I told you about the staggering 24% unemployment rate there, and we're working hard on that. So we've created a series of programs. We have about 10. I won't go through each one of those there, but as one of the hallmarks is this amplify. We've done many of them already. Last year, 19 of them. You can see the amount of attendees we've had there, but that's a 2-day event for our military spouses. So if you're interested in maybe participating in some way and with your expertise to help our military spouses, please let me know. And we're going to continue to travel all over, and the locations for that are also on our website. So it wouldn't be complete if we didn't have a social media campaign like many of you do. We've got over 1 million followers. We do a great job of telling the success stories that we've had. You can see on all the platforms there. We don't like to brag, but we do like to tell about the impact that we're having here. And it's just an opportunity for some of our partner companies as well to get the good news stories out, be champions for their cause, and tell America about how they're hiring veterans or military spouses and how successful they are in that program. So I'll leave you with just some final thoughts, and then I'll open it up to some questions. So I've been doing this for a number of years, and here's what I'm seeing, and I think you all would agree: remote work is a viable option, and specifically when it comes to our military spouses, is an incredible option because now they are no longer geographically tied. I know some of you, many of you have programs that or companies, organizations that cannot allow them to do remotely. That's understandable, but we do have a lot of partner companies that have nothing but remote positions, and so that's just a really good source for us. Mentorship, as you all know, mentorship is extremely important. I tell our young servicemen and women getting out, you need 2 mentors at a minimum. You need one is a personal mentor. It could be my wife who gives me the advice and mentors me on what we're going to do as we get ready to transition, maybe where we need to go, how much money we need to make, and so on and so forth. But then you need a professional mentor. They need folks like yourself, and there's lots of organizations to get tied to, but mentorship does matter. We just don't understand the nuances of transition. We're getting better at it, but having a civilian counterpart or mentor is important. As I mentioned earlier, resumes, I'm not sure if your applicant tracking systems and how you hire folks is through the resume or not. There are some degree of differences out there, but resume is very important to many organizations, and we still need help writing our resumes. Although we have a resume engine, as I told you, but we still continue to put jargon on there. We still don't know how to describe what it is we actually did in our military careers. So I'd ask almost for forgiveness, not 100%, but if the resume looks good, it might not be perfect. All I ask is that you give them an opportunity to interview, and then giving them the opportunity to interview, and I think they will then earn your respect with the questions that you ask them, and hopefully earn that opportunity for employment. Difficulty communicating our skills. I touched on that briefly. It is difficult how do you summarize 30 plus years of military service, and how do you describe that for a particular job that you're applying to? Well, we're having difficulty still, and we're working on that, but that's what educational organizations like ourselves do when we go to these installations and we stand up there and we talk about, preparing yourself. These are the things we try to communicate with them to break down these barriers. The 5th bullet you see there, rank doesn't matter, but the education does. And for you all, I know that's important. Just because I'm a colonel doesn't mean I deserve to come in as the CEO or anything like that. I've got to start somewhere, but take a good look at the education I have, come in at a certain level and work your way up there. I'd also ask you to take a look at some of these young servicemen and women who might not have the college degree, but they might have the skill sets necessary for you. So I'll use the example of somebody in the cybersecurity. Well, many of our Air Force folks, to include a few Army, but the Air Force have a lot of credentials and certifications when it comes to the cybersecurity. The young E4 getting out might not have the bachelor's degree, but they might have the 10 to 15 certifications that are required to be extremely successful in your business, we'll say in cybersecurity. I'd ask you to use that as a rule of thumb when you take a look at all the young servicemen and women's resumes. Upskilling, as you all know, your workforce development program, you are the professionals. And I was looking at your website, as a matter of fact. I talked about some upskilling opportunities, and one of the companies I was telling Kim a little bit earlier is I noticed on your registered apprenticeships, you're partnered with Fastport. Fastport is a great company. As a matter of fact, so great that they're the first people to hire me, Kim. I didn't tell you that when I retired from the Army prior to coming over here at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and hiring our heroes. So, but upskilling is absolutely essential. And well, we understand that, especially in the skilled labor market right now. So one of the programs that we are beginning, and if you're interested, again, please reach out to me, but we want to start a skill bridge program, basically, building our own pathways with multiple organizations through various skilled labor opportunities into the workforce. So we're just starting that, but we're looking for various skills that we can tap into, and we could educate our young men and women and hopefully get them into that labor market there. And as you all know, the final comment is companies are hiring. As I travel around, there is a war on talent and right now, but companies are coming to us to assist them, to provide them access, because they recognize how talented our young men and women who served are in so many ways, from character to discipline to problem solving to coming to work on time. You can name it right there. But they're willing to take them in so that they can upskill them, because they know they'll get longevity out of them. They'll be able to retain them, but they have the aptitude and the wherewithal to learn and be essential in that company. So those are what I'm seeing. The last thing I'll say is our focus is, as I mentioned, skill-based training certifications. We'll never leave anyone behind. And as I touched on, the junior enlisted service members is so most important to us. It's important to me. And then we'll leverage public and private partnerships with you or anybody out there who would like to join our collaboration. So I'll leave you with the call to action. It's to inspire, it's to hire and continue to educate. And that's what we do every day. And finally, I'll open it up, Kim, if that's all right, to any questions that you might have. I'm in the chat.
So thank you, Adam, so much for that. Awesome information. So I was taking notes as you was going through, and I'm definitely going back to look at the replay as well. And I just want to echo everybody's comments in the chat box. Thank you for your service. And also just, thank you for being here, just sharing this wonderful resource with us. So we did have a couple of questions in the chat box. So I will reach out. I'll read a couple of questions. Adam, I'm not sure if you can see those questions.
I can see them. I'll take, so Katie asked if we could share the slides. How about Kim? Absolutely. I'll send them to Kim and she can send them out. Thank you very much for that, Katie. The resume engine is absolutely, as Megan asked, is the resume engine free for any veteran? It is. It is free. And it's actually, it's free for any, it doesn't have to be a veteran. I mean, so we don't have it's a open source. You can go to hiringourheroes.org and you can take a look at it. And if you had some feedback, we'll take that feedback too. We're always willing to improve our foxholes, they say in the military, and we want to improve that. But it's a very good start. I will say, I mean, I'm still in my drawer down here. Is the very first resume I did. I did it on this, and I've tweaked it since then, but it was a good start. So yes, it is absolutely free. And for all of you, anything that a young serviceman or woman does with the Hiring Our Heroes, there is no charge. And if there any company that wants to get involved, there is no charge. Do I take sponsorship? Absolutely. We're just like NADA, I'm assuming, but yeah, well, we could talk about that, but we would love for you to get involved if you have great jobs. There's a relationship. Yes, as a matter of fact, someone asked if we have a formal relationship. I don't know if it's a formal relationship with DOL apprenticeship program per se, but we have great relationships with them. As a matter of fact, DOL vets and Assistant Secretary James Rodriguez is not only a good friend of mine and our organization, but he has traveled and been a speaker with us. So we're very closely aligned together on what you're doing. We think the work that they're doing is so vital, and I think they think the work that we're doing is best in class and vital. So there's a symbiotic relationship. And I also saw someone came in, was a DVOP from one of the locations there. Thank you very much for the DVOP. That our a foot stomp for that real quick. The DVOPs and the leavers at the American Job Centers, the 2,400 nationwide, are so important. You know, that's just another avenue for the young veterans out there, especially those young veterans that you all might meet somewhere that are struggling for employment. You can always direct them to our organization. But the local DVOP and leavers, I mean, they get priority access and service right then and there, and lots of great opportunities. So I saw a DVOP on here a little bit earlier, Kim. So fantastic. Yo, DOO. Yeah, I'm not. Yep, exactly. I see that from Maria. Will do. And great info. Thank you.
And it looks like Michelle Love has her hand raised. So Michelle, if you want to take yourself off of mute and ask your question.
Yeah, so I just wanted to clarify, Adam, as I work with the Workforce Center in the capacity for the WIOA program, where we're actually paying for their education. So they're kind of already involved in getting certificates or other degrees. And so I was just wondering, once they've completed those, are you guys a good resource for sending them to search for employment?
Absolutely. So you're saying they go through your program, they get the certification. That only makes their resume that much stronger. So please, please have the servicemen and women, the veteran, enter through the portal and through connecting with the career connector. And the career connectors work, you know, direct at the tactical level with each of them as best they can to find them the right fit. So yes, thank you.
Great, thank you.
What now? Anybody else?
Any additional questions? What great information. And thank you so much for sharing your contact information. And one question I wanted to ask you, Colonel Rocke, is how is we as workforce professional, I know you've kind of hit on this, but if there are some additional things that you want to tell us of how we can support hiring our heroes from our standpoint.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, obviously, no wrong door approach is what I would say, obviously. I mean, I know you all are individual organizations looking for talent or not, but I subscribe to the logic that there's no wrong door. So whenever we go to our job fairs, and I sometimes often have 100 to 150 companies here, they're all like-minded, they're all veteran friendly. I call them veteran ready because they sent the right person to hire these veterans. But if they don't have the job or the career that somebody's looking for when they approach their counter, but they do know that somebody has it, they're very good about walking them over and making that introduction here. I would just ask that you will, I mean, that obviously you think of yourself and how to fill your ranks, but if it doesn't work and somebody has the skill set that somebody, partner company or member company, please share that with them. That's the one thing I would say always. But if you want to get involved with me, please go to our website, please, or send me a note. I really am looking for some skilled labor opportunities right there. So, you know, it doesn't matter if it's HVAC, auto, I'm on the board at HBI Home Builders Institute, and that's a workforce development program. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that as well. They might even be a member here for all I know, but I should know that, but I don't. Anyway, so those are the types of things. So we just want to build a robust ecosystem of all kinds of opportunities with folks that are like-minded, that will not close the door. That will give them an opportunity to at least have a conversation, look at their skill sets, and maybe give them an opportunity for a job. They need to earn it. Don't get me wrong. I don't want anyone to give anybody a job or a career because of pity, and that's not what you feel. But it really is about, you know, they will win the day if you give them the job. I use the last example. There's a trucking company, and they took all kinds of young veterans from us one day. Once, and they had them all out there and cleaning their trucks or preparing for work every day. And the problem that the guy said, he said, listen, you need to talk to all your veterans. They're making the rest of us look bad. He says, they come here before 6 o'clock in the morning, they hop the fence and they PMCS, which is clean preventive maintenance services of the truck. And they're putting armor on, everything on the tires, all right? That they're going above and beyond. My point is to say that, listen, they will go above and beyond. They'll prove themselves, and you'll be very proud of them. Just give them an opportunity for a conversation or an entry position, and they'll win the day. So that's what I tell you.
Awesome. What a great way, a great story to end our time together here today. So again, thank you for sharing your information. We have the information is still on the on the screen here, so make sure you take that information down. Within 3 business days, this will also be on our Not Up YouTube channel, so you can just go to YouTube, type in Not Up, and this recording will be there, so you can definitely share it with your colleagues. But again, thank you so much for joining us here today. Thank you all, and thank you, Colonel Rocke, for providing us with such great information and resources.
Thanks, Kim.
I hope you all
fun in
have
New
a
Orleans.
wonderful rest of your Wednesday.
Right. Have fun in New Orleans.
Thank you. I hope we will. I hope to see other people in New Orleans as well. Thank you all.